what angle we're gonna get. I'm just gonna go take care of something real quick at one of the offices. Just gonna grab breakfast, stop at one of the offices, try to fix this computer real quick, and come back to work on some other computers. So let's go for a drive. Garage is closed, garage is closed. Let's check out the road. I'll try to check out the road. That should be fine. A little bit of sun in the way, but it should be good. So again, just going for a quick run to one of the offices. Their computer keeps going offline. It's a desktop that we had set up a long time ago, and we just put a wireless adapter on it, but I think the adapter's going bad. So I'm gonna drive into the office and do what's actually best for a desktop. Wire it in. Don't play with Wi-Fi if you don't have to. Honestly, when it comes to internet and connectivity and everything, and I even saw a video and the guy made me chuckle a little bit because he's like, oh, my speeds are faster wirelessly, my wireless connection is better. No, it's not. You know, the difference between the speed wirelessly that he was getting and wired was because of the difference in the technologies. The device he has, the built-in port, cannot do more than 100 meg. But with a wired connection, even at 100 meg, okay, even at 100 megs, a wired connection is better, more stable, more reliable than Wi-Fi. And the thought that people think they need more than 100 meg of download on a single device, you really don't. You really don't. I mean, in corporate IT, we cap your network, or we should be. And chances are, you know, if you're at the office, you're probably not going to get more than a 5 meg, maybe a 10 meg download if you're lucky. Now, depending on the situation, we might prioritize your device and give you more speed. But again, even if your device has an older data port and it could only do 100 megs, 100 megs wired is better, believe it or not, than a 200, 300, 400 meg wireless download connection, because wireless is not as stable. So it all depends on what you're doing. When it comes to streaming, you want the most reliable and stable connection possible. So even if you wire your computer, and well, you shouldn't have a computer that old. I'm just saying, if your computer's that old that the data port's 100 megs, get a new computer. But now I'm getting off topic. Wired connection is going to be better than a wireless connection, even if the wireless connection is a little faster. Now, if you know your requirements cannot be met by a wired connection, that changes the dynamics. But in general, nobody needs more than 100 megabits of download per device. I'm not talking about what comes into your house, I'm talking about per device. Because I mean, realistically, if you set up your network to really prioritize your studio. If you're talking head studio, you're in your house, but you're a family guy or woman, and you have, for example, kids, they're playing games, they're doing all this stuff. You, in my opinion, you really should have a network that you could control, that you could customize, like what I do at my house with my unified devices. Now, do I do caps and all that stuff? I don't, because it's just me and one roommate. But if you're going to be streaming, especially for a business, if you're going to have kids playing video games, doing all this stuff online, you get a network that you could cap every device at, let's say, 10% of what your network is, maybe 5%. It all depends on what your internet provider is giving you. I have a gigabit coming into my house. That's a little over 1,000 megs download coming into my house. If I had kids and all that stuff, I would probably cap them at maybe 100 meg each, and then take the rest for myself. I'm just saying. How do I get people to stop? I can't read the whole thing yet. I need a red light. That's the problem with doing this in the car. How do I keep people? How do I get people to stop? Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for a red light because I can't see it. And why do I feel like I probably don't want to read that out loud? Yeah, I'm not gonna read that out loud. Shame on you. All right. Good try. And then you could ask them. Yay, construction work. You have a good day too. Yeah, that's not a network question. Just saying. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm just going to this office. They got a data cable line that's running to nothing, and it goes right past this computer. So I'm just gonna snip the line, add a connection to it, and plug it directly into his computer. That way it's directly wired to the network, and he's not going to have issues with going online anymore. He's basically checking his emails and stuff like that, but it's a pain when your computer doesn't even stay online. Alright, the sign just said 40 and you're flashing at me. What's wrong with you? See, now the sign says 40, but 35 was flashing at me. Go figure. But I feel there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to networks. Do you really need to know it that well? Probably not. But at the same time, knowing a little bit about it could help, depending on the type of streams you do. a lot of people, at least a lot of people that I watch and know nowadays, they just use their phone. So it's not like there's that much you can do as far as network with your phone. Chances are, especially if you're out and about like I am right now, you're in the mercy of cell data. Does that mean I couldn't change it? No, I'm not going to right now, but I mean, let's be real. I could put a portable, well, I could have a hotspot with me, probably have a better connection. But really, the cell phone's Wi-Fi is not bad, depending on your carrier and stuff. So, but I know a lot of people that just use their phone, whether they're in the house or they're out and about or whatever. They always use their phone. So you're mostly always going to be wireless. I remember one person saying they were having a lot of problems streaming and their internet's fine. We could watch YouTube and Netflix. That means your internet's good enough to watch YouTube and Netflix. That doesn't mean your internet's good enough to stream live to YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else. And as soon as they did a speed test, which I would recommend everyone do, just to get some numbers, just to get an idea of what you're working with. You just go to Google speed tests and run one of those speed tests, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I have my go-to one. I already forgot the name of it, but I could tell when I see it online. And you run the speed test. If your download and upload are all single digit, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have people that are going to tell you, oh, you need 100 or this, and 50, 60, 100 upload. No, you don't. I mean, as far as upload, which most people don't even really think about at all, which is really very important when you're streaming, because with that comment, I could watch Netflix, I could watch YouTube, everything's fine. That's download, that's not upload. When you're streaming out, that's upload. When you're trying to do YouTube, you're streaming out, that's upload. And I used to have an upload of 10 megs and I was streaming. You don't need 50, 60. You don't need. Is it nice to have? Of course. But I had a 10 meg upload. I was streaming. I even tried to stream in 4K. I'm pretty sure the network was stressing it out and everything, but it didn't go down. It didn't die. I wouldn't recommend it. But, do you need more upload than 10? Not need, but it's nice, especially if you're doing stuff a little bit more advanced and like super basic stuff. If you're trying to push out a lot of bandwidth, you need more. So I mean, I wouldn't recommend streaming at 4K or something like that if you only have 10 meg upload. But do you necessarily need all this speed? No. Should always prioritize, if possible, you should always prioritize the connection, not the speed itself. As long as you have enough speed to do what you need to do. I mean, and that takes me back to my point of the comment the guy made in the video. He said that his Wi-Fi connection was faster, so he automatically assumed it was better. Faster doesn't mean better in every scenario. As far as I'm concerned, you want that better connection.
Welcome to McDonald's. We will be using the mobile app today.
Yeah, let me get the sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich and a large coffee, 9 cream, 7 sugar.
Okay.
And I'm trying to bring up a code right now. The code is 9098.
Victor,
Yes.
you guys round it up for the change thing?
Yes, round it up. And that'll be all. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's grab some food.
You don't have a different card?
A different card? Never had a problem with that card before. I think I removed most of my cards. I probably have one more. There. All right. Thank you. Ain't nothing wrong with that card, my friends.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. I'm very OCD about the lid because I had coffee spill on me before. It needs to face a certain way for me. I think that's just a problem with these cards that have the chips. The chip gets a little smudge or something on it, doesn't read right. You gotta wipe it or something. Whatever. Trying not to use too many of my cards, so I took them all out. I only have like 2 cards in my wallet now. Alright. We on the road again. And again, I really can't see chat. If I do respawn, it's gonna take a minute. I gotta wait for a red light or something. Phone's not in the best place. This is a what do you call it, a running gun type situation. Especially with this car. This car's not set up for me to just slap a camera in it like the Pontiac. But I figured, why not? I need to stream more often, but I do have a full-time job, so I can't record at work. I can't do stuff at work. But I could probably at least do something on my way to work. Having me a little breakfast. What time is it? Should I jump on the highway? I don't think the highway's gonna make much of a difference. We're gonna take the scenic route. Libertyville. Libertyville, Illinois. I was just thinking if I even have the RJ45 connection, but at this office we should have parts. That way I can terminate the cable. Now, I need to start moving a lot of the old computers from my place back to the office. I did a lot of work at home because of COVID and all that stuff, but it's not the case anymore. But I do still have a lot of devices and equipment at the house, so I'm going to start taking everything back to the office. We're going to recycle it, but we've got to start moving it. So it's super heavy. I was able to at least throw one box in the back of the car, but it's freaking heavy. It looks like the phone is still working. I'm gonna have to look at this receipt a little bit better because I could have sworn I saw a different price, but maybe I'm just overthinking it. No, I'm overthinking it. Keep the eyes on the road. So, gotta think of what I am going to do. Still have a lot of videos I got to do, upload from when I was in the Philippines. Not going to be uploading every little thing, but I could swear there's still a lot more to it than I've already uploaded. I know I've been uploading recently the stuff from Boracay, and I'll slip a couple other things in there. I think the sunset cruise or sunset sailing is the last thing I uploaded. Too close to me, friend. Back up. Until the speed limit changes, I'm not going any fast. I don't care how close it gets to me. But if you scratch my car, we're gonna have a problem. still have I know I still have more stuff from the Philippines. And now with Ecamm Zoom integration, and even with the people that have already gone live and start explaining about it, it's, how are there so many questions about the stuff people already answered? If I'm at work and I feel my co-workers might know the answer, yes, I'm going to ask them. If I know they're busy, I'm just going to do the research. The one thing I'm noticing, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying you don't want to always be so dependent. There's Google, there's research. Dig around before, especially if you need some kind of answer quickly. Do a little digging around before you just start asking people. Legit, I stop answering people when they ask the exact same question multiple times. And I know it's different people, but you know, when you're using the same resources, like, you know, Facebook group, you're in a Facebook group, someone asks a question, you answer it. Cool. But when you answer the exact same question 10, 20 times in a single day, and it's like, you know, your answer turns into, look at this or read this. It's like, it gets to the point where, why are we answering you again? But when they, you know, when you have a full-blown video producing something and they're going through all these details, and you make it seem like you watched the video, but then you're asking questions that they answered in the video, it's like, ooh, okay. And even when you answer it, you get more and more questions. It's like they're not understanding, I guess, what you're trying to explain to them. And I'm not saying stop helping people. I'm just saying it gets to the point where sometimes, especially if you're dealing with the same person, sometimes you wonder if you're not explaining things right. I mean, it's like, how are you still having an issue or questions about the exact same thing we've covered multiple times? Especially when it's the same person. Like, really? If it's something complicated, I could understand it, but I would think some stuff just, again, I don't know, I'm assuming. I read some things, and visually in my head it's like, you know, that's like saying I took a picture in front of me, how come nothing behind me is in the picture? Because you took the picture of your front view. I mean, if I have a deer behind me and I'm taking a picture of my front view, and then I ask someone, hey, how come the deer's not in my picture? That's what some of these questions sound like to me. Like, really? Because the deer was behind you? I don't know. It's just how I feel sometimes. No one specific, just in general.